Hi there, this is Dr. Everybody, and I'll take a look at Project 10. This project is a little different in that all we want you to do is to create the stubs of the methods that will be used in this project. Really, that's what Project 11 will be about. Here you're just doing the stubs. It's only worth 15 points. It's quick and dirty. All right, let's take a look at it. A couple of things to notice is, again, we're just making stubs. And what are we doing? We're creating a time class, right? And it will be Greenwich Mean Time, which is actually called Universal Time. And at times will be kept as a 24-hour clock. Those people from cultures where that's common will feel that comfortable. So a few things to note are we're going to make a class time. We're only making stubs, and you're supposed to put a doc string for each one. All right. That's the important part. Okay, so let me take a quick look at what that means. So we'll go over here, and all right, we're going to have a class that we're calling time, and it inherits, like all others do, from object. Now every class needs an init, all right, and every class has self in it, and we'll have some other stuff in here too. Okay, so right away you can do that, and pass is the filler. Whoops. Let's go back here a little bit. We need a doc string. Say something useful here. All right, so there's my doc string, and what does it have in it? All we're doing is pass. We don't do anything else. That's it. And notice, by the way, that because I have pass there, I can say t equals time, create this object time, and oops, we see it does take an object, an argument. Let's just give it one, and it's perfectly happy with that. Right? And so what we're doing is we're just creating a stub so that we can get some sense of an outline here. So you have to put something useful in there, and you have to put something useful in there to to meet the specifications that we have. And I can't emphasize it enough. Self, all over the place. Right? First argument everywhere. And some of these we actually specify other things that you have to return. For example, there's a thing called str, and again, guess what? Like everything else, it takes a self, and here we see, and you gotta have your doc string that says something useful, and in here we specify that you're supposed to return some string, like I'll just call it time string. And now, and again, that lets me test this thing out. T equals time, we need some kind of an argument, so I'll do that. And now if I say print t, it says time string, the thing that we return there. And then you'll get things like we ask you to do add again. It always takes self and some other stuff. And we put a pass in there. But as a note, as a reminder, later on, oops, we forgot the doc string. Got to have a doc string. Something. Say something here. And then we have our pass. And just as a note, later on, when you actually bake this thing, you are going to return something with a time in it. Right now, I'm commenting that out, and we have, and so what happens here, I can't spell return, I'll have to fix that, this and this, when we're doing addition and you're doing subtraction, and if we had to do multiplication, etc., arithmetic operations, we have this notion of closure. And so if I'm building objects of time t, if I add two time objects together, I want to get a time object when I'm done. That will be in that's for project 11. You'll be doing that, but make a note of that right now, because it's one thing you want to always remember to do. Okay, and I see that it tells me that I have I got a warning over here, and that's because I lost my quotes. Okay, and again, so that's what you're doing. So you've got more of those to build, and one last thing you got to think about when you're going to do things like, you've got the like less than and less than or equal to and equal and all these guys. What do these do? These are going to return a Boolean. Right now we're just putting pass in there, but they're going to return something that's, like return a true or return a false or something like that. Or maybe they'll return an expression whose value is true or false. But you can make a note down there on these comparisons to return a Boolean when we get to project 11. And so what project 11 is going to do, it's going to fill in all this stuff. So make a note. Help yourself out and spell return right too while you're at it. So what we're doing here is we're building stubs. These are called stubs. They're going to have pass in it or some other statement that we have there, and you have to figure out now what goes in here, and so on. And I can't emphasize it enough. Self, all over the place. All right, that will do it.